What's going on, everybody? We're dealing with a little bit of a glare, but we'll get through it. Starting an hour before these games start, we'll hang out, see if we get any unexpected news. I'm not expecting anything crazy. Could be the last stream of the year of this WNBA season. This could be it. Could be the last one we see because the Aces have not shown me anything to believe that they're going to push this to a fourth game, let alone a fifth game. So could very well be the last 2-game slate that we get. I keep getting a whole bunch of notifications. So we'll run through these 2 games real quick, and then we'll talk through some scenarios, some ways I think you can get different away from the chalk that's absolutely going to be there tonight. Some chalk you just need to eat, but there are ways you can pivot off of it if you're trying to get different. First game, we do get a swap for the times, so we do get New York and Las Vegas in the nightcap for the showdown slate. Starting on the Minnesota side, fee at the top. If you have the salary and you're spinning up, perfectly fine playing her. She's going to play the entire game. She looks good at 11.5. She's going to shoot it close to 20 times. Only 16 and 14 in the 2 games here in this series, but obviously a big ceiling on a player like her. Only 9 points last game and still put up 41 fantasy points. So big ceiling on a player like her. she's one of the best players in the league. Alana Smith, 8,600 minutes, ticked down last game. It was a super troll. Cheryl Reeve trolled everybody. They deserved to lose that game just for her rotations alone. But only 25 minutes. If her minutes are going to be right around that 25-minute mark, she's priced about right. But if it's going to bump back up to like 30 or 30 plus, I have a little bit more interest. There's still a little bit of meat on the bone at that price point. She's a good fantasy point per minute player. Bridget Carrollton, I just don't think there's enough upside in paying $8,000 for her. If she shoots the lights out, she can get there. She's posted 40 plus before in a game, but I think this first game here against Connecticut is kind of her ceiling. She's not going to get very many peripheral stats, and she put up 17 real life points, 24 fantasy points. So, she can 3x your salary if you want to play her, but I just don't think that's going to be enough. Kayla McBride, 7,900 is fine. I would much rather just pay 7,700 for Courtney Williams and hope her minutes go back up. She did play 28 though, so not a huge tick down for her from 33. She's going to stuff the stat sheet, so don't mind her. And then on the bench, you can take shots on me, Shahan Allen or Tisha Heidemann. I'm not crazy about either. They should both play low teens minutes. But I do want to mention Zandolosini at 3,700. I think she's a viable punt option. I do not expect her to play 17 minutes again, though. She got extended because Bridget was in foul trouble. Fully expect her to see 6 to 10 minutes tonight. Obviously, really needs to. She can go out there and hit a couple threes and easily pay off that price tag. So I think she's the best pure punt play. If you're looking 4K or below, everyone else is just going to DNP. On the Connecticut side, they're going to run a pretty tight rotation. We do have Ty Harris back, so takes Burton completely out of play for me. I understand Burton played 21 minutes last game, but as Harris gets healthier, Burton's minutes are going to come down. They will close. They'll just go small. So Bree Jones' minutes are not secure whatsoever, 18 and 14 in the 2 matchups. You can play her if you want. I think she makes for a great tournament play. If she was, just 2 weeks ago, she played against Minnesota, 29 minutes, put up 23 fantasy points. At 7K, the ceiling, there's a ceiling for her, but I just think they're going to go small. She cannot guard Alana Smith to save her life. Alana Smith just blows past her. So unless they just want to lose, they're going to pull her almost immediately. Olivia Nelson-Dota should play 10 to 12 minutes off the bench. Dejanay is a good tournament play, but I do want to mention her minutes are the most unsafe of the big 4. She can get pulled for Ty Harris or Burton. I know Dejanay's their best defender, but Ty Harris is not a bad defender. Burton's a really good defender. So I think they're going to rotate pretty much those 6. You're going to see Bree Jones probably for 15 minutes, Olivia Nelson-Ododa for 10. So that leaves 15 minutes of them going small with Bonner at the 5 as a small ball 5. So she has big rebounding upside. She's also shot the ball just awful. 4 of 17 and 5 of 15. If that ticks up to 45 to 50%, she's going to put up a 50-burger. She's my favorite play on this slate today. I love Wnba Bonner. Sub 9K, sign me up. She's taking a bunch of shots already. Marina Mabry, 9,300. I worry about the ceiling. Like she was super consistent all this postseason. 36, 33, 34. Then here, 24. She's not going to get too many peripheral stats just with AT and everybody else out there. She's really reliant on her scoring for the majority of her fantasy points. And she's going to put up a bunch of shots, but I just don't know. I would just much rather pay $5,000 or $500 less for Wnba Bonner than pay up for Marina Mabry. So, and then Alyssa Thomas at the top, 10.8K. She looks great. She's my favorite of the big 4 spend ups. She's just been otherworldly in this postseason. 48, 47, 49, and 45 fantasy points, all 4 games. This is what you love to see in someone like Alyssa Thomas. 6 of 15, or 15 shot attempts, 17, 12, 14. If she's going to take 12 to 16 shots, she's probably just the best spend up on the slate because we know the peripheral stats are going to be there. She averages almost 17 peripheral stats a game. And then if the scoring is going to be there like it has been this postseason, 12, 19, 17, 18, she's probably just the best point per dollar play on the slate. So then you got the late game, New York at Las Vegas. I'm an Aces fan. They went back-to-back. I'm happy, but they're going home tonight. They haven't shown me any reason to believe that they can beat New York. New York just matches up well with them. They have the size. They have the length to guard the perimeter. New York, Stewie, 11.2K if you have the salary. She's one of the best spend-ups on the slate. Sabrina Ionescu, 10.2K. She's been playing just incredible in this postseason. 26 minutes, 33 fantasy points. Played pretty much the whole game here against Atlanta in the closeout there. 58 fantasy points, 12 of 23 shooting. Then in the 2 games against the Aces, 38 and 37 minutes, 15 and 18 shot attempts. She's just putting up a ton of shots. She's running the point. Her peripheral stats are just otherworldly when she gets to run the point. So I'm really high on Sabrina. Jonquel Jones, 9,800. Great tournament play. She's going to go a little bit overlooked. Benaj Eleni, 7,200. Minutes aren't the best, but in that range, I don't mind her. I would rather pay the extra 500 and play Courtney Williams if you can. Leonie Febich, 6,800. She's fine. Hasn't been asked to do much of anything. She had this one good game to start the postseason where she shot 4 of 4 from 3, 7 of 8 from the field. This is a ceiling game for her where if she scores well, she's going to have a good DFS game because she's not going to really pitch in much in the peripheral stats, but she's going to get open looks from 3. So if she hits those, she's mostly out there for her perimeter defense. Her and Benaj Eleni are just, that's the duo from hell. Both great defenders. And then you got Courtney Vandersloot coming off the bench, 5,800. I think she's in play, should play 15 to 18 minutes. Kayla Thornton should play 10 to 12-ish minutes. I'm not expecting her to see 16 again. She's in play for value. Don't really love it, but there's not a lot of good value on the slate. You're mostly just looking for players that are going to be on the floor. Then we got the Aces. Obviously, Asia Wilson at the top, 11.7K. I was always team jam Asia in every lineup that I played in the regular season. It's getting to the point now, her price has come down. She's only $200 more than Fee, $500 more than Stewie, $900 more than AT. But the worry is her minutes are still about the same. She's not getting a big uptick in minutes, 1-2 minutes, where all the other stars are playing practically the entire game. And New York is doubling her. Every time she touches the ball, they're doubling her. So I question her true upside. Obviously, she's the best women's basketball player on the planet. So she can absolutely go and nuke off Any slate would not surprise me whatsoever. But I do think there's merit to fading her. If this series was to get extended, it would not surprise me if Asia drops 55 or 60. That's really one of the main reasons it would get extended, unless you just see like God mode from Kelsey Plum or Jackie Young. One of these are going to get Sabrina's defense. So there is upside in playing one of them. Who knows who's going to get it? Plum was defended by Sabrina in game 1. She had a good game. Jackie was defended by Sabrina in game 2. She had a good game. So kind of just don't know who Sabrina's going to guard. They are going to pick on her, though. She's the weak link of that New York defense. But Plum, 9K. Once again, I would just rather pay $500 less for Jackie Young. Much safer peripheral stats. Kelsey Plum, I just can't play her. She just, I can't. Like 27 minutes, she got benched, didn't even close last game in a super, super close game. So if you want to play her, she's a good tournament play. She will be extremely low owned, but her floor is just dangerously low because she just does not get any peripheral stats. So I don't think Jackie Young's 100% because she's only playing like low 30s minutes. I mean, if she's going to only see 31 to 32 minutes, it hurts her upside. Chelsea Gray, 8,100 is fine. I think she has a decent floor. Tiffany Hayes, I do expect to see a little bit more of her, so I don't mind her at 6,900. Then Alicia Clark, best value play on the slate. She's going to start again, 5,300. Played 34 minutes last game, or 35. I fully expect right about that same amount of minutes again because Kia Stokes is out. I've got questions in the Discord throughout the day on Megan Gustafson. I think her and Sydney Colson play like very, very minimal. They get one little rotation, like 2 to 4 minutes. For the most part, I think Asia's going to play the entire game. I think Kelsey Plum, if she's playing well, will push for mid-30s minutes. Jackie, low to mid-30s. Chelsea Gray, low to mid-30s. Tiffany Hayes, probably 25 to 28. And then Alicia Clark, probably in that 34 to 36 range. Then you're going to have Gustafson and Colson probably getting like a 2 to 4 minute shift, and that's it. So I think the Aces are going to run a super, super tight rotation. They have to have this game or else their season's over. So they're going to have to get on the ball. But let's get over here and answer some questions. I guess I could have turned some lights on. It's kind of dark in here. Let's go Liberty, New York Vibe. Yep. I mean, Mets just won last night. Yankees in the playoffs. Knicks trading for Cat. Yeah, that was crazy. Hockey's about to start. Yep. I think if you're asking me like right now, I have a future bet on the Lynx to win the championship, but I mean, it wouldn't shock me one bit if New York wins it. I think they're the best team right now. Yep, might be the last shot at 10K. I think if this is the final game in this New York Aces series, I think at best we're going to get 5K to first showdown slates. And then we know Sunday showdown is going to be awful. So I hope both these series go 5 games so we get winner go home series for both of these on Tuesday. And we can hopefully get 10 or 20K to first. That would be cool. But, yeah, I don't expect it. I think the Aces go home tonight. I have a lot of Bonner and Alicia Clark. Yep, those are probably the 2 best plays on the slate, in my opinion. So, I definitely don't mind that. Stewie Sabrina or Fee 9,900 and under guard. Probably just Stewie and Sabrina just because, like, there's not really any, like, I don't want to leave 600 salary on the table to play Mabry. I would just rather play Bonner. And then at that point, you're leaving 1.1K on the table. So you're better off just probably finding an upgrade somewhere else. So we did just get news on Ty Harris. Will continue to play off the bench. Expected to have her minutes limit increased today. So I projected her to play like 15 minutes, and then Burton to play 13, I believe. Let me look. Ty Harris 15, Burton 13. So yeah. So Burton is unplayable in my opinion. As Ty Harris gets more and more minutes, like Burton's just not going to be playable. Let's see here. Obviously, playing Clark is value. You prefer paying for fee, but you're going lower to like Gus or Zand and paying up for studs. I think if you're paying down like and just full on punting, I think the best one is Zandolosini. Like she's going to see the floor. If Carrollton was to get in foul trouble again, she would play a decent amount, like mid-teens minutes. But at 3,700, like she's going to play, whereas I don't think anyone else does. And Gustafson being what $700 more, I would just rather pay down for Zandolosini to get to pay up somewhere else, or like play like a Kayla Thornton at 4,600, who's going to play as well. Any value plays stand out to you on FanDuel? So FanDuel, it's pretty bare over there. You're pretty much like there's nobody under 4K that's going to see the floor. So if you play any of them, you're probably just taking a zero. I think Zandolosini's fine at 4,200, Thornton at 4,300, Heidemann 44, Olivia Nelson-Adota at 46, Hines Allen at 51. Then you got like the New York trio, like Benaja Laney, 5,400. If she was to play 30 minutes tonight, she's entirely too cheap there. Then you got like Febich, 55, Sloot, 56. I do not think you can get up to one of the big four. I just think their prices are too high for them, or else you're just going to play like two people that are going to get zeros, and I just don't think that's viable on this slate. Now I am playing on FanDuel tonight because we got 3K to first, so I'm playing more of a balanced build. I can't willingly play players that I know just aren't going to play. Thoughts on McBride? I think she's solid. She's going to play a ton of minutes. She's pretty score independent, but I think she's a fine play. She's going to be out there for 35 to 38 minutes. Thoughts on Ty Harris playing time? I think she's going to see right around like I have her for 15 minutes. I think she could play like 12 to 18, but I think the sweet spot's probably like 14 to 15. Let's make sure we don't have anything going on. Sorry, making sure we don't have any college football news right before college football slate locks. Let's look here. I think I'm good. All right, we should be good there. You like Stewie tonight? 50 point? Yep. She absolutely can go for 50. Would not shock me at all. I think game one she actually did. Yep, 51 in game one, 12 of 19 shooting. Just when the games matter, Stewie shows up. 16, 16, 19, and 15 shot attempts. Obviously shot 5 of 15 last game. 0 of 5 from 3, but 15 peripheral stats. I mean, she's one of the best players on the planet. She is a winner. Like these are the games that matter to her. So yeah, I think 50 is definitely in the range of outcomes for her. Sloot and Clark, best value plays, probably like the safest two. Like Clark is in a league of her own for value plays. She's probably going to see like 70% ownership again. But Sloot's not too far behind her. Like in that second tier, she's going to play 15 to 18 minutes. She's a pretty good fantasy point per minute player. And she looks to be rejuvenated coming off the bench. Like she's been playing well. I hope somebody else besides the vertical wins the tournament. Yeah. He trains his lineup. So yeah, it is what it is though. I'm excited I'm hoping I've been talking to a couple people with DraftKings about a bigger single entry contest for next season. So Hopefully, we get a little bit more stuff for next year as the WNBA continues to grow. So, hopefully, we'll get stuff where people can only enter one time. Stewie or AT? For me, it's AT. AT just I just cannot fade Alyssa Thomas right now. The way she's playing, if she's going to take 12 to 15 shots, it's hard for me to click anyone but her to start my lineup. Like, I just want to start every lineup with her. The peripheral stats are just built in. Every now and then she'll get in random foul trouble, but Steph will leave her out there. Like, she knows she can't win with AT on the bench. So I'm going to die on the AT hill until she just lets me down. Why do they sign Queen Egbo, never play her? Yeah, that's the bad thing. Like, they had the empty roster spot. I love Queen Egbo. Like, I think she's a good player. She's a good defender. Her offensive upside's pretty lackluster, but I would like to see them play her more. And maybe they play her a little bit more next year if she makes a team. But we do have Liz Kitley coming back for the Aces as well. But I do not expect Queen to play tonight. Favorite play, 7,600 and under, not Clark. Yeah, so you just missed out on Courtney Williams. It's probably like Tiffany Hayes. I think she has the most upside of anybody in this group. I think there's a path for her to play like 26 to 28 minutes tonight. And we know like what kind of game she can put up. Like here, yeah, she shot 8 of 12. That's probably not happening again. But, I mean, 10 peripheral stats in 21 minutes. If she does that and puts up double-figure scoring, she's definitely going to find the optimal. So, I think it would just be Tiffany Hayes there. Alana, Sloot, or Stewie Zandalasini. Oh, so, like, Zandy, does she get you, like, 6? If she gets you 6, the main thing with that, I'm going to go with Stewie Zandalasini, but like if Alana Smith plays low 30s minutes, it very well could be Alana Sloot. Just because Alana is north of a fantasy point per minute player, she can put up a big score, and then Sloot is by far a better value play than Zandalasini. But the additional salary gets you from Alana to Stewie, who we know is going to play 37 or 38 minutes and is just a better player. So I'll go Stewie Zandalasini and just hope Zandalasini rips a couple threes. If she scores 6 fantasy points, like that is all you need from her. Asia Thornton or Stewie Misha Hines Allen, I would go Asia Thornton. I love the upside of Asia tonight. I'm not playing her, but I love the upside for her tonight. Jackie or Chelsea Gray, I like the upside more on Jackie. Just like she can get you the peripheral stats, and she's been shooting the ball quite a bit. And like she would look even better if Sabrina Ionescu's Gardner. Ionescu, Zandy, or Sloot Alana Smith on FanDuel. So FanDuel, better points for the stocks. I would probably go Sloot and Alana Smith there. Alana Smith just a stock demon, and then on FanDuel you get the bonus points for stocks. Like, I mean, 2, 7, like 9 stocks in the 2 games here against Connecticut. Like, yeah, it's Alana Smith looks really good on FanDuel. Yeah, I'm hoping for some better single entry options next year. I think as like the league gets bigger, more people start playing, we're going to see bigger contests. We're going to see better secondary contests like single entry stuff. I think we're going to see like a better mini max structure and a better $1 structure. I'm really looking forward to next season. I'm hoping like every year for the past like 3 or 4 years, it's slowly gotten better. This year it was exponentially better than last season, but we can just hope that it continues in that direction. Yep, that's all we can do is just ask for it. Gray and Phoebich or Smith and Heidemann on FanDuel. I would go Alana and Heidemann. I'm pretty high on Alana on FanDuel. Thoughts on JJ? I think she's going a little bit overlooked, especially. She's sub 10K. She hasn't had great games. Obviously, here at 9,700, 35 fantasy points, you'll take that. But this last game only took 8 shots, 29 fantasy points. Obviously, there is the risk of foul trouble for her. That's always in the back of your mind. She can absolutely sink you with that, but she has went for 50 plus in this matchup already this season. And she hasn't had just a blow up spot yet in the postseason. It's been mostly Stewie and Sabrina just taking on a ton of additional usage. Favorite utility play at 8,100 or under. And thank you for no problem at all. Let's look here. 8,100. Yeah, 8,100 and under for utility. So Chelsea Gray, Carrollton, McBride, Seawill. That range, it's not the best. I would probably just go Chelsea Gray. I think in an elimination game, she's going to play mid-30s minutes. Probably unless she's just playing just abysmally bad, and she's the one that gets her minutes cut for Hayes. I don't see that happening. I think she's going to play like 33 to 35 minutes. So I would probably go Chelsea Gray. Second option there, like if you don't want to play her, would be Courtney Williams, and just hope she plays 33 minutes because she's the best fantasy point per minute player out of that group. Hayes or Sloot? Hayes for sure. Hayes has a lot of upside. Like I think I really believe the Aces are only going to play 6 players today or tonight. And they may have Colson come in for like a breather rotation, like at the end of a quarter, like for a minute or two. Same with Megan Gustafson, but I think it's really just going to be the starters and Tiffany Hayes that play any kind of meaningful minutes. Let's look here. I'm still debating on a couple things. Sloot and JJ or Seawill and Bridget. Man. I would probably go Seawill and Bridget. Like, I'm not crazy about Bridget at her price point, but the minutes matter. Like in the first game, obviously the second game she got in foul trouble. So kind of have to discount that. Still played 28 minutes and had 3 fouls, and like she missed, let's look here. Where is she? She missed the final 6 minutes of the first half. She was probably on pace to play the entire first half. So she probably would get bumped to 34 minutes, 35 minutes, somewhere right around there. So obviously you need her to score. Like she's not going to get very many peripheral stats, but she's going to play a ton of minutes. And then if Courtney Williams plays a ton of minutes, like I'm once again, I like this first game. Both the rotations are so condensed. Their usage is so condensed to certain players that I really do. I like that first game. Obviously, the late game like is the better like quote unquote DFS game like for scoring purposes, but it's a little bit more spread out. Like you don't know, on the New York side, it's mostly going to be the big 3, but on the Aces side, like, do we really know, like, is Plum going to play well, or is it going to be Jackie who plays well again? Is Chelsea Gray going to play well, or will Tiffany Hayes come in off the bench and play well? And then, like, we always know kind of what to expect with Asia, but there's a lot more uncertainty with that second game compared to the first one. Like, I'm really, really high on this first game, even though they may score less points. Like, obviously, the total is, let's look. I haven't looked today yet. I bet the total is like 10 to 12 points lower. Yeah, 13.5 points lower. So Vegas thinks the second game is going to be a lot better. I just personally always I'm attracted to the players in this first game a lot more than the second one. Now, the second game, you're mostly like you have to play Alicia Clark and then the spin ups, but I think there's better overall plays in the first game. Gray or Seawill, probably Seawill. Like it's tough though. Like I want to play Seawill for her upside. Minutes wise, like I would go Gray. Like for safety of minutes, like who's expected to play the most, it's gonna be Gray. Like if you're just going based on the optimal, like it's gonna be Gray. Personally, I like Seawill more. I just like the upside that she brings. Normal starters for Minnesota. Not really surprised by that. I didn't expect them to make any changes. Lainey Asia or Stewie McBride. Oh, same starters for the Sun, so nothing new there. Lainey Asia or Stewie McBride. I would probably go Stewie McBride. I worry about Lainey's minutes. And like I don't worry about Kayla McBride's minutes. I know she's going to play practically the entire game. And then I think Asia and Stewie are relatively close. Obviously, Asia has the much higher ceiling, but I think it's close enough where I would just much rather have McBride to Lainey. Young and Adota or Hayes and Lainey. I don't really want to play Nelson Adota. I would, man, Adota plays, like, didn't she play 10 minutes last game? 14. Does she really play 14 minutes again? I don't think so. So 13 for Bree Jones, 14 for Ono. It's 27, 13. Jackie and Ono. And maybe if Ono comes in and plays well, they may stick with her and not go small. But I just think they're going to go small. So she's going to have to get there in like 10 to 12 minutes. Any advice on the one game showdown? So let's pull it up here. Let's look. What the hell? Vanished. So it's pretty tough. Like you can take a 0, like absolutely with these teams with the usage monsters. I think you want to play like the big 3. You want to play Asia, Stewie, and Sabrina, and then figure it out from there. Like obviously you want to play Alicia Clark. So if you want to like punt captain, you can take a 0 there, or like maybe play Alicia Clark at captain and go up. But it's really like you want to play the top 3 just because they're going to dominate the usage. Asia, Stewie, and Sabrina. But everyone else, like there's merit to playing really any of them, especially on the Aces side. Like one of Kelsey Plum or Jackie Young's going to have a really good game. And then Chelsea Gray could. Tiffany Hayes looks pretty good. Slightly less interested in like the secondary pieces for New York, like Benaja Laney or Febich. I think Sloot's fine, but she's more expensive than Alicia Clark, so really don't want to go there. But really just like going like big 3, figuring out if you're going to pay down at captain or Alicia Clark at captain, and then kind of going from there. Carrington or McBride, I think I would probably – I'll go McBride just because I feel more confident with her minutes. Like I just don't know with Dejanay. Like if she struggles like she did last game, she could go sit on the bench for a pretty lengthy amount of time. Like she had a 6-minute like she sat in the first half from the 1:45 mark in the first quarter to the 6.5-minute mark in the second quarter. So pretty much 5 minutes there. And then she sat for right at the very end of the first half. And then she had a decent sit in the fourth quarter. So going from playing 40 minutes down to 31, and as Ty Harris, like if they're going to play Burton because she plays good defense, like I could see her minutes, like if she's struggling shooting the ball, I could see her minutes tick down to like 30, 32, whereas McBride's going to play like 36 to 38. Like they're just going to leave her out there. Let's see here. Stewie Sloot or Alana Jackie. Oh, man. Probably. Man. Just don't know with Alana. Makes it tough. I'll go Stewie and Sloot. It's really tough with Alana Smith. Like if she plays over 30 minutes, I would want that side of it. I'm just not confident like in Cheryl Reeve at all. Like what she's gonna do, I'm not confident in it. She could play the starters all over 30 minutes, or she could troll us again where Alana Smith plays 25 minutes and it's ridiculous. Thornton or Zandalicini, I think if you have the salary, you should play Thornton. Like I feel more confident in her minutes. Zandalicini worries me. Like it's a lot more. It's the price difference is a lot more drastic on DraftKings. So I think Zandalicini is the better play on DraftKings. But if you're talking FanDuel where they're like $100 apart, I would just much rather play Kayla Thornton. Yep, both contests filled 3 hours. Oh, did the showdown already fill? Oops, I didn't get a lineup in if it did. Oh, no, we still got. Oh, both of the main contests. That's awesome. Yep, both of those are filled. We do still have a little bit in the showdown tonight. But yeah, that's good. I hope, obviously, we'll get a crap contest on Sunday for the whatever slate we get. But it would be kind of cool to see both these games go to 5 so we get one more big slate on Tuesday. But I'm kind of skeptical. Harris or Sloot for sure. I do not want to play Ty Harris. I may be over projecting her minutes wise. Like she played 7 last game. She may play 10 to 12 tonight. And it wouldn't surprise me. I just don't want to play her. She's not that good of a fantasy point per minute player. And like when she comes in, like I don't expect her to demand usage. I think she's just going to be out there as like another fresh body, another quality defender on the perimeter. Fee or Stewie? Man, I'll go Fee. I love Stewie though, but I'll go Fee. Yep, Alana Smith is the perfect tournament play. Absolutely perfect. 8,600, she's right in that like sweet spot. She can pay that price tag off even with like 27-ish minutes. But if you get the game where she plays 32, 33 minutes, it's going to be nice. Yeah, she's a fantastic tournament play. And that's the way you have to get different on a 2-game slate. Like if you're not wanting to split with a bunch of people, she's the perfect one to play. Hayes and Asia must. No, I don't think anyone besides Clark on the Aces is a must. I think Clark is a must just because like value's so bad and she's just going to play almost the entire game. But I don't think anyone else on the Aces is a must. I think Hayes is a great play. I personally think she's going to play more tonight. I think they're going to run a super tight rotation. And then Asia, obviously, as a spend up, like you're really splitting hairs with Asia, Fee, and Stewie. Like all 3 have well over 50 fantasy point upside. Asia is the only one in win or go home mode. Like if she loses, her season's over. So she probably has the most fire coming out tonight. But like Fee, she put up over 40 fantasy points and shot 3 of 14. So she has a big ceiling. Stewie shot bad last game and still put up almost 40. 36 and shot 5 of 15. So and then like I think you start with Alyssa Thomas, and then if you want to try and play another one of these up here, another one of the big 4 spin ups, I think you can. But Alyssa Thomas for me is my favorite of the 4. Do you think Bree Jones gets played off the floor tonight? Yep. I don't trust her. I think whenever Connecticut plays their last game of the season this year, whether it's this series or in the championship series or they win it all, I think Bree Jones will not be back. I do not expect her to return to Connecticut. Just because how well Olivia Nelson-Ododa has played, I don't think they're going to want to pay Bree Jones, but I do think she gets played off the floor. Like she, in the last game when I watched every minute of it because I was sweating the underdog play, or my underdog draft, but she was getting lapped by Alana Smith. Like it was not close. Like Stephanie White left her in there as long as she could. I think she played the first 8 minutes of the game. The first 8 minutes and 15 seconds. And she put up, this was her stats in the first 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Picked up a foul, missed a field goal that was blocked, missed a field goal, defensive rebound, and then she made pretty much a layup. That was it. She sat for the remainder of the first quarter and the entire second quarter. Then she come in the third quarter and played a little over 5 minutes. She had a turnover, an assist, a defensive rebound, and a turnover. That was resulted in a steal and a layup. And then we never saw her again. So really tough to recommend playing her. But then again, she's a great tournament play because just like 2 weeks ago in the regular season, in a game that was uber competitive, like they needed it, Minnesota had to win it to really have the 2 seed. She played 29 minutes. So if you look back, all these other games against Minnesota, here's one 25 minutes, right at 20 fantasy points. 27 minutes, 40 fantasy points. So, I mean, she can get there. I just think they're gonna play her off the floor. Like Alana Smith will just run circles around her. With Kia Stokes out, you think Megan Gustafson gets run? I don't think so. I think since it's a winner go home game, I think Asia Wilson practically plays the entire game. She might take how they'll steal a breather for players like right at the end of the first quarter. Like she might sit for a minute, and I think Gustafson probably sees 2 to 4 minutes at most. She could play more. I could be completely wrong on that, but I'm not expecting very many minutes from her. I play on FanDuel. Is there a player under 4,100 you would pick? I don't think there's anyone really playable. I don't. You could play Sydney Colson at 3,700. She probably plays 2 to 4 minutes. She may get you some stats. But I mean, I think last game she scored -2 fantasy points. So it's pretty rough down there. I would try and avoid that far down. Tiffany Mitchell, see the floor? I do not think so. I don't think she's been cleared to play yet. Says she's questionable, she's a full participant. Friday's practice, hasn't played since July 16th, and a return to game action likely won't cause any waves in the rotation. Yeah. See, she hasn't even been cleared to return yet. She's been full participant in practice, but she's not been cleared to play yet. I don't think, even if she was, I don't think she sees the floor. Salute and Mabry or Hayes and Carrington. I'll go Hayes and Dejanay. Stewie Zandalicini or JJ Thornton. Stewie Zandalicini. Clark on Must have FanDuel or just DraftKings. I think she's more fadeable on FanDuel just because they did a better job pricing her. Like 5,800 on, I think she's 50, 5,800 on FanDuel. Like she's right around like Bridget Carrollton, Brianna Jones. Like for forwards, like Febich is right around that range. I think she's definitely fadeable on FanDuel. I'm still playing her just because like the minutes that she's going to play. But yeah, she's easier to fade on FanDuel than DraftKings for sure. Courtney Williams or Chelsea Gray. So optimal wise, it's Courtney Williams. Optimal wise, it's Chelsea Gray. Personally, I think Courtney Williams has more upside. So it really just depends. The safer option is Chelsea Gray. I think she's going to see more minutes. She's played relatively well last game. She did not play well in the first game. But if Courtney Williams plays low 30s minutes, it's absolutely Courtney Williams over her. Thoughts on Xander Lassini on Minnesota? I appreciate the super chat. I think she's fine. Like there's not really anybody else that's playable. Like I think if you look at Kayla Thornton, she's going to play 10 to 12 minutes at 4,600. Everyone else down here, like all these people down here will not see the floor. Like in this range, 3,000 to 3,500. Diamond Miller isn't going to play. Xander Lassini is 3,700 and will play. Like, yeah, I'm not expecting her to play 17 minutes again. I think it's more likely she plays like 6 to 10, maybe 6 to 8, but somewhere right around that range. And at that price point, you do not need much for her to cash, or for her to pay off that price. Like if she scores 6 to 7 fantasy points, like you're looking really good for what she allows you to put in your lineup. So I appreciate the super chat. I hope that helps with Zandy. We still got a few before lock. I'm really interested to see some of this ownership to see if this first game gets any popular. Let's see here. I think Ono could outscore Salute. Seems unlikely. Yeah, I think Salute's probably just better. I feel more confident with her minutes. Like I know Salute's going to play at least 15 minutes. Last game she played 20. I think it's like in that 15 to 18 range. Where for Ono, like her range of outcomes and minutes are like super wide. Like she could play 10 minutes and I wouldn't be surprised, or she could play 15 minutes and I wouldn't be surprised. Like the first game in this series, Ono played 6 minutes. So like her minutes outcome is just crazy. Like it's super inconsistent. So I would personally rather play Salute. Oh man. All right. Any more questions? We'll wait up until we get to lock and we see some ownership, and then we'll get out of here. Could be the last stream of the year for Wnba. I guess I may do some final streams like for showdowns. It's just like showdowns, there's not really a lot of questions that need to be answered. So Salute versus Ty Harris, for me, it's Salute. Like I just feel more confident with her minutes. She's a better fantasy point per minute player as well. So I'd go Salute there. I can't play Ty Harris until like she's playing 18 to 20 minutes, and I just don't know if they're going to be around long enough to see that. I'm hoping. I mean, I like Connecticut. I love the way they play in the postseason. But my futures bet on the Lynx to win the championship, I'm rooting for Minnesota, 100%. Thoughts on Jackie Young? I think she's one of the better tournament plays. Only worry is there's been some chatter about her not being fully healthy. not being at 100%. Minutes kind of support that. 30, 31, 33, and 31 minutes. It limits her ceiling, but she's going to get the peripheral stats. She can score. Did not take a shot in the fourth quarter of the last game, which is weird. But I'm pretty high on Jackie. I always love playing Jackie Young. She played. Oh no, she took one shot with 4 seconds left. So she played the final 8 minutes of the fourth quarter and made both free throws, a defensive rebound, 2 assists, an offensive rebound, and a missed 3. So her usage was really solid. Like, it was right up there. It was pretty spread out on the Aces side. Like, they're just doubling Asia Wilson, so her usage is not what it normally is. Like, she's only averaging like low to mid 20s on the usage on this series. No, NBA is just too much for me. There's just too much going on. I will do some college football stuff. I'll do some MMA stuff. I might dabble in some NFL. I don't know on that though. NBA, like in the Discord, like people are already smashing NBA. My guy Rob took down on FanDuel the showdown earlier today, so I know he's planning on doing some content. He'll have stuff in the Discord, so it'll be well represented for sure. I'll play some NBA, but it'll be like I'll play NBA when there's no like college football or NFL or MMA on. Like that's when I'll dabble in NBA. There's just so much going on a daily with that. Courtney Williams, I appreciate the super chat again. I really do. Courtney or Alicia Clark. If salary doesn't matter, I would play Courtney Williams. Like she's just a lot better fantasy point per minute wise. Should outscore her fairly easily, but that's a pretty big price difference. Like, I mean, we're talking 2,400, but yeah, if you have the additional salary, I would definitely go Courtney Williams over Clark. Yeah, see, for me, like NBA is the ultra tilt for me. Like, Sloot or Clark. It's Alicia Clark. Yeah, I would play Clark over Sloot, and I get it now. You said Courtney. I just immediately thought of Courtney Williams, but I didn't think of Courtney Vandersloot. So I would go Clark over Sloot. But yeah, back on the NBA, it is just variance driven. Now, if you nail it, you can win a bunch of money, and there's always that's the hook where they sink it in deep. But I'll play some. I'm a big Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I mean, that's hometown team, so I'll be watching. So I'm sure I'll be dabbling. Going a few 4K players on FanDuel with Smith, Sabrina, and Bonner. Yep. Hey, I love that. I don't have that many studs in my lineup. I did a few 4K plays, a few 5K plays, a few 6K plays, and then Dwana Bonner. Dwana Bonner is the hill I am dying on tonight. She's like her and Alyssa Thomas, the power couple. Those are like two of my favorite plays in the slate. I am super high on both of them. I just think like Dwana Bonner has such immense upside for someone that's sub 9K. She should be $9,800. 33 minutes here in the first game, 4 of 17 shooting, 23%. And she put up 35 fantasy points. Obviously, she got boosted in the rebounding category because they played her as a small ball 5. They had her guarding Alana Smith. Then last game, 34 minutes, 5 of 15 shooting. Still only shot 33% and put up 40. She could put up 50, and it would not shock me whatsoever. Obviously, 5 steals. Like, not expecting that again. But I do expect her shooting to go up. Like, I expect her to get right around 10 peripheral stats, maybe 10 or 11, and then maybe 1 or 2 stocks. But if you ever catch a good shooting game from Wnba Bonner, she's a slate winner. Let's get it. Yeah, Bonner is a playoff. She's a playoff performer. Her and AT, like, when the playoffs start, they're just like, all right, well, we're playing the whole game. And we haven't even seen Bonner play a whole game yet. Like, she's been playing like 33, 34 minutes. I think as this series gets tighter, like, Connecticut wants to win these 2 games at home. They don't want to have to go back to Minnesota. Like, they already stole home court by winning game 1. If they win the game tonight, like, all the pressure's on Minnesota, and I could see Bonner pushing like 37, 38 minutes. Is Gray in play? Yep. I think she's a fine play at her price point. What is she? 8K? 8,100. I think she's solid. Had a lot better game here this last time out, other than the first one. I mean, 10 minutes. She was the one that got her minutes cut in the first game. Obviously, this is an elimination game, so I'm not expecting her to get her minutes cut. I think like this 36-minute range is well within reason for her. But I just don't know about like her ceiling. Like, they're going to pick her up full court. They're going to throw Benajelani at her. They're going to throw Wnba at her. So big, rangy guards that are going to defend her for 90 feet. So I don't mind her, but I personally am not playing her. We are almost to lock. Let's see if they ever bumped. They did. They finally bumped Wnba Bonner on Prize Picks. I hammered Wnba Bonner at 20.5 points and rebounds. And then it went to 21, and then it stayed there for forever. And then now it finally is up to 21.5. Let's see here. I'm ready for some college football tomorrow. 2 minutes before lock. If anybody has any more questions, then we'll go over some ownership and we'll get out of here for the night. I'm going to go find something to eat after this. I'm hungry. Oh, I didn't even look to see what ownership was on college football. Not the best. All right. One minute. We can close that. I figure my lineup will be duped, but it's the lineup that I built my lineup on Tuesday night, like when I was watching the late game, and I haven't touched it since. So it'll either work out really good for me or I'll finish pretty close to last. I got to get started on tomorrow's a big day. I got 20 max, the UFC pay-per-view. I got a 20 max, the main slate for college football on both sites. I got the afternoon slate to 20 max. I got the night slate to 20 max. It's going to be, I got to get some of this stuff done tonight. Appreciate the help all season long. Already looking forward. Yep. I appreciate all you guys tuning in, hanging out. It's been just a crazy year. Like this year, I did everything that I wanted to do. Like I set a list of goals I wanted to achieve this year, and like, I mean, I hit them all. Like winning a underdog draft tournament, a battle royale, whatever you want to call it, getting in Queen of the Court again, shipping on Draftkings, even though I didn't solo ship. But it really has. And then the channel growth has been awesome. So I'm really looking forward to next year. Like it truly does bum me out that the season's almost over. But the off season's not that long. Like we're gonna have like November, December, January, February, March, April. And then we're right back at it in May. And if you're in the Discord, like we'll have like people will throw notes in for pretty much every sport out there. And I'll have underdog and prize pick slips for women's college basketball. So I appreciate that. I don't have too much competition for WNBA DFS, but I appreciate that. Next year we're really coming for it. Yeah, I mean this year it really has been. I'm gonna do like I'm not doing it. I can't edit anything. I'm gonna have someone edit like a big video to go on the channel after the season's over, showing off some winners from the year. But yeah, I mean this year has been nuts. Like there's been shippers left and right, like all throughout the season. Like people winning big money. I appreciate it. Let's see some of this ownership. All right. So people are with me on Wnba Bonner. 42% Wnba Bonner. 51% Alyssa Thomas. People are with me there. I think she's probably going to be the highest owned of the big four, just because of her price and how well she's been playing. Like she should be the highest owned of those four, just because she's arguably the safest and she's the cheapest. So, and then Xander Ossini, 20%. That's a bit rich, but I mean, there's not a lot of value out there. So looks like I might have to make some pivots because my lineup is very chalky from the start. So I had a pivot in mind, so I might end up going that way. So we'll see. Alana, 24%. I'm surprised she's 24%. Let's look at some other ownership. Courtney Williams, 30%. Fee is only 30%. Oh my God. Yeah, there's your slate winner right there. That's too low for Nafisa Collier. Kayla McBride, 7%. I like that ownership. Those are the same. We've already seen all those. I want to see Olivia Nelson-Ododa, if anybody played her. Here's Veronica Burton at 7%. I think they just lit their money on fire. See if I can't find Oh No. I don't think she's going to be very popular. I could be wrong, though. Mabry, 15%. Misha Hines Allen, 6%. Here it is. Olivia Nelson-Ododa, 4%. So not bad. Not too bad, but I think that's going to do it for me, guys. Let's see. Only played ATN Smith. Someone I don't think you're going to be regretting that. Obviously, like if Bonner nukes off, like that's not ideal, but I think Alana could have a great game. Like she just needs the minutes and she can smash. And then I love AT. She was my favorite of the big four. Went 3 ace. Hey, and with no Asia, they're going to double her. If this series, if they're going to play basketball on Sunday in Las Vegas, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and Tiffany Hayes, and even Alicia Clark, they're all going to have to step their game up, or else the series is over. Like New York will not let Asia Wilson beat them. They just won't. So I think that's sneaky. I played Adota. Yep, she's 4%. I need to look on FanDuel. So yeah, hey, solo ship it. Could be the last 10K we get. Carrington 6%. That's not bad there for her either. I played Ono. I'll see y'all at the bank. Hey, I hope she gets there. I think she's a solid play. I played her on FanDuel. I just think her range of outcomes are a roller coaster. Like I just don't know what to expect. So if I will say this before I get out of here, if the Aces do win tonight, I will do a stream on Sunday. I know NFL reigns supreme on Sundays. There's not a lot of people that turn out for WNBA. The contest is kind of crap, but it will almost assuredly be our last 2-game slate. So I can't not have a stream for it. So if we get an extended series here, the Aces need to win tonight to extend it. So if they do, we'll be here on Sunday. If not, I'll probably relax, and then I may do like short, like 15 to 20-minute streams for like the championship series. Making the play, Stokes minutes. Hey, she can. I mentioned it in the Discord earlier. Like the people that didn't want to play Alicia Clark, or like there's paths for Alicia Clark to fail. Like if she comes out and she's going to be guarding Stewie, maybe she gets in immediate foul trouble, picks up 2 fouls in 2 minutes. Megan Gustafson comes in and plays well. Like she's cheaper, so there's you a direct pivot off Alicia Clark to Gus. I think there's. I mean, I didn't do it, but I don't mind it. Like that's thinking outside the box. There's definite ways for her to smash. So, and it would kill pretty much everyone else. So I don't hate it, but that's going to do it for me, guys. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Sunday. If not, we'll see you guys in the finals. Obviously I'll have videos out on YouTube for the slate, no matter what, whether it's just a showdown or whatever, but good luck to everyone. I'll be in the Discord if you guys want to come and kick it, watch these games, but good luck, and we'll see you guys hopefully Sunday.